Hi, my name is Madison Toomey, and today I will be going over my usability test of Microsoft's Paint 3D as well as 3D Viewer. I chose these two programs separately, however, I will also demonstrate how these two programs coincide. Beginning, for Paint 3D, the tasks were fairly basic, easy, but not entirely engaging, so it lost a couple of points on the Likert scale. Task number 10 was not necessarily hard, but if not done correctly, it would mess up the rest of the usability test. To begin the testing, we started with our create a new project, which was easy enough because we just hit new. So with that, I decided to draw a snake as it was the simplest thing I had in mind. To begin the 3D viewer portion of the usability test, we were asked to open our snake figure. Task number 1, opening the snake figure for 3D viewer, scored low points because at first I couldn't find my snake model. This also corresponded with task 10 of Paint 3D because if you don't correctly save as a 3D model, you will not be able to finish the usability test in 3D viewer. So here I have our snake all put together. You can rotate it, turn it, tilt it. And one of the tasks was to use multi-select. So right now I have selected all and it's all grouped up together. But you can ungroup and you can click on separate things and move separate things. However, it's just easiest to hit select all and group. A couple of things I had problems with, ungroup again, where one thing would be far up front, so you kind of have to just select all, group, and then turn it in different angles to get the right positions for your object. So with that, tasks 9 and 10 of Paint 3D took a little bit of trial and error to get your different shapes and objects into the correct positioning. That when we had problems with opening in 3D viewer. These are my other saved projects, but you can hit save, but you have to save it as a 3D model. Otherwise, you can't pull it up in the 3D viewer. So I opened up 3D viewer and you just go to file. You can open recent, but as our snake doesn't show up yet, I'm going to go to open. Here I'm going to open snake best one yet because yes, it is my best one. So looking back at our results, task 2 also had a slightly low score. That is because it was to use the animation bar to hover the object. If you didn't really know where anything is, you wouldn't technically know where the animation bar is, but it's right here. You can hover, and then task 3, you put it up to 1.5. You can turn it up to 2, or you can just make it slow, or just turn it back to nothing. So a lot of the tasks for 3D Viewer involved going to view and then changing to smooth shaded and wireframe, physically based rendering. I'm just changing it in general. You can also change the light rotation and the way that the shadow falls. Overall, the results of the usability tests were pretty decent. The programs would be very useful for users who are interested in making 3D art. Honestly, if I had the option, I would have included 3D printing, as that is always an interesting hobby. You can actually go here and go to print 3D. However, I don't have a 3D printer, so I can't do that, so I'm going to hit cancel. No. Yep, and that's my usability test. Going back to the results here, total, we had some pretty high score tasks. The tasks for Paint 3D were honestly really easy and got high scores up until the last one just because there was that one mishaps where I had saved my thing as not a 3D model and exited out of the program and was not able to pull it up in the 3D viewer. So yeah, so the last task of Paint 3D and the first task of 3D viewer both corresponded and got those scores for that specific reason. Other than that, thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a good day.